What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Back with my latest segment, Ego Hot Topic. Now, a lot of you guys are talking about this. Is Juan Manuel Marquez on steroids? Is he juicing? Is he using that stuff? So, a lot of you guys watched the weigh-in, the face-off with Mike Alvarado fights on tonight, and you'll notice as Marquez entered the podium and up to the scales, stepped up to the scales. On his chest, he has acne, like you've seen pimples on his chest. Now, me personally, in my personal life, I've always been fascinated with fitness and read up and watched Pumping Iron and Arnold movies and stuff like that. So I have a pretty good amount of knowledge on just nutrition. I don't always stay in the gym and stuff, but um, definitely read up a lot on different things and athletes. I know a lot of the Mr. Olympians, the Ronnie Colemans and the Jay Cutlers. Just read up on a lot of those dudes. Anyway, one of the signs of steroids, or one of the side effects, I guess you could say, is acne. Because it messes with your hormones. So a lot of people, if you know, they'll have acne on their chest. They'll have back knee, as I call it, where you get pimples on your back, etc. Does this mean Marquez is on steroids? No, but it is definitely certainly a side effect of steroids. So a lot of people are talking. I mean, unfortunately, ego. I always have an opinion, but I don't know. I don't know if he's juicing. I would hope not. I respect Marquez. I hold him in high regard for what he's done for the sport, but certainly people suggesting it is not out of the question. I mean, he leveled Pacquiao, which he didn't do in 3 fights. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he's not. I'm just gonna say until it's actually discovered, the only thing we can do is speculate. So, no real answer here. I want to hear from you guys to see what you guys think. If you feel Marquez is juicing, I'm a huge fan of Marquez, so I hope he's not juicing. It definitely is a side effect, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of athletes are taking something that they're not supposed to in this day and age. I know a lot of people in the industry, and PEDs are a lot more common than you think. A lot of athletes take something, and there's different ways to kind of circumvent regular testing and not have it detect. It's just like if you know anybody. I know a lot of people. I live in California, so people smoke weed. It's just a lot of people do it out here. You know what I mean? There's good weed in California, and all the people I know, all the smokers that I know, they still have no problem getting jobs. Not that these places aren't drug testing, they just know what to do and how to get around testing and pass testing. There's different tricks that people do, things that people implore. So, no different than steroids. A lot of people use other, basically, other banned substances, lesser banned substances, as masking agents. Like they use diuretics, so it just looks like the fighter had struggled to make weight, and they use that to kind of mask the more hardcore drug or the actual steroid. Because at the very least, if they do get tested, if it's not cleansed out of their system, then they'll only be testing for the lesser of the drugs. No different than if you've seen the Denzel Washington movie Flight, and he was hungover, and I think he had to go to court. Then John Goodman came with like a briefcase and then gave him lines of blow. He had lines of coke to get him back, to offset his hangover, basically. So it's no different for steroids. People use other drugs or other substances to kind of cleanse your body from showing the steroid. So again, with Marquez, it's all speculation. I don't know. I don't know if he's juicing. I don't know if he's not juicing. I'm just gonna assume he's not juicing until I hear otherwise, and everything else is speculation. So leave a comment. I really want to know what you guys think. I'm gonna stay neutral. Hopefully, we just see a good fight tonight, Marquez versus Alvarado. As far as juicing and steroids in the sport, I don't condone cheating. I don't think it's fair for fighters that earn it the hard way and just do regular jogging at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then you have somebody who has an illegal shortcut to the finish line. I just don't respect that. I don't condone that. Just because why can't you work hard like the other fighters that are doing it the clean way? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Like I know at my gym, I know some dudes that do steroids, and I've seen the progress. But me, I'd rather look natural and earn it the hard way. It's more rewarding for me than to juice. And there's a lot of psychological games that come with steroids. Again, I know people that have juiced and roided up, and it fucked up their personality. They had roid rage, different things like psychologically can really fuck you up. Not to mention your nuts shrink and all that, and some people become like sexually impotent and shit. Um, but psychologically, this is what it can do to you. Steroids. If you're, let's say you're going into the gym and then you start juicing. Before you start juicing, you're bench pressing, let's say 250, and then you're on a steroid cycle and it increases your strength. Let's say you get up to 350 pounds that you can bench press. Now, let's say you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't need steroids anymore. And then you get off your cycle and you stop. And then you go back down and you can only bench press 265. Then psychologically, that's going to frustrate you because when you were on the cycle, you were able to bench press so much more weight, almost 100 pounds more. And the reason is steroids allows you to recover and repair faster. So a lot of times you'll need less rest time. Therefore, you can do more intense sets. So it's definitely cheating, and it's definitely a shortcut because the human body is only going to allow for whatever your body is set up to allow for in terms of rest and recovery and natural strength and stuff like that. So having steroids is definitely going to aid you in that, and it's mostly in the amount of time that you're able to recover and replenish. And again, some people on steroids, let's say a non-steroid person, they might have to take 3 or 4 days off of the gym to recover and fully be repaired, versus someone who's on steroids. They might technically work 6-7 days a week and be able to work out and still feel good and not feel shot, even though that could lead to overtraining, but that's something else. One thing I do find hilarious in the sport of boxing is the hypocrisy and the double standards. Now, there's been a long standing notion that Pacquiao was at some point juicing, and a lot of people speculate that. Some people don't, some people do, that he was juicing or using something at some point based on his performance and kind of a decline in his killer instinct and all that. And some of the Pacquiao fans, they're like, oh, innocent until proven guilty type attitude. And then when it comes to the fighter that you don't really care about, like Marquez, he's like, oh, he has acne, so he's guilty, even though we still don't know. Like I said, the acne could be from something, could be from juicing. I'm not here to discover that. If he's cheating, then what's done in the dark comes to light, and you know what I mean? He'll just have to deal with it, just like Antonio Margarito when he was cheating. He got caught up. Shane Mosley got caught up. All the people that got caught up, Berto, Peterson, whatever, they got caught up, and they had to deal with that and that type of taint on their image or their resume or whatever. Now we don't know what fights they truly would have won had they not cheated in some form or fashion. So it is what it is. I'm not here to play God or play judge, jury, and executioner, but I do find it funny that people are so hypocritical that when it's speculated that Pacquiao is juicing, and people have their reasons for thinking that he didn't want to do drug testing. He's done amazing feats in the sport of boxing in terms of going from very light divisions to walking down bigger guys like Margarito, Cotto, and hurting them and whatnot. So it is what it is. Everything's subjective, but it's just funny that some people, when it's your fighter, you're like, no, he's innocent until proven guilty. He can't be doing steroids. It's impossible. And you won't even conceive the notion. Yet when it's a fighter you don't give a fuck about, or that fighter's nemesis like Marquez, he's juicing, and there's this outcry for it. But there should be an outcry across the board if anyone's juicing. I have fighters that I like. I have fighters that don't really fancy. I don't really fancy. But if any of them are cheating and they're a known cheat or they're possibly cheating, then I'm not going to be on board with that. I'll be like, man, they just fucked it up for themselves. So the double standards is hilarious to me in the sport of boxing. Let me know what you guys think of Marquez. Is he juicing? Is he not juicing? Again, I hope he's not. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm just talking about a topic that all you guys are talking about. And I did notice the acne on his chest. Certainly a side effect of steroids and juicing, but it could just be pimples, you know what I mean? Razor bumps. I don't know. So until anything else comes out, then I'm going to stay neutral. And I want to hear from you guys mostly. So let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.